Hey there everybody, this is Jared the Third with another how-to video. Today I'm going to be going over how to tank vCR hard mode. I'm going to do it from a couple different perspectives, as there is the Zmaja and portal tanking, as well as the mini tanking, so there'll be different sections that'll go over those parts. Hopefully this is helpful to you. Drop any questions in the comments. Thanks for watching. For those new to vCR, you want to have 3 tanks. 2 for swapping Zmaja and Portal, and 1 for the minis. You want to have 2 tanks for Zmaja and Portal because on Vet, when you come out of the Portal, you have a debuff on you that if you take Portal again too soon, you will instantly die. It is generally best practice to have 2 tanks build for Zmaja and Portal, so 1 tank can build entirely for minis and the little adds that spawn out of the Portal. To start, your main purpose is to point Zmaja away from group, and to get to her quickly when she ports. You can always tell when she is porting by the pool of water under her. You can also tell where she'll emerge by that same pool of water. You will want to be where she will be quickly to face her away from group, as mentioned before. The little Mind Pulse blast she does will hit as many targets that are in front of her. So, if she's facing the group, she'll hit everyone with that Mind Blast. If you have her pointed away, just you will get hit. One attack that can trip up a lot of tanks is her Crushing Darkness. That begins at 80% health. It targets the person with taunt as well as the furthest person from her. You cannot stand in it, but you can roll dodge through it, which you can use to your advantage. You can bait it by walking one way, roll dodge through it the opposite way, and bait it back to the other side. You'll take minimal damage and remain close enough to her, which is what you want. In terms of taking Zmaja throughout the whole fight, there are a few more crucial things to get used to in terms of the amount of time you have to react. First, making sure she gets interrupted during her channeled attack. Interruptible attacks are indicated by the red lines around an NPC. This is the advantage to remaining as close as possible to her during Crushing Darkness. If she is not bashed, she will drop people from the ceiling until 3 people have been dropped. It often means death for that person if any other damage at all is on them. One potential safety net for this is to slot Crushing Shock on your back bar to interrupt her if you end up far away from her. This is true upstairs and in Portal. Another major thing to watch out for is Reliquin's sparkles when he does a heavy attack. They slide across the ground in multiple directions. If you do not try to avoid them, they can stun you at extremely inopportune times, like when you're getting a Zmaja heavy. It is usually helpful for the mini tank to call heavy when Reliquin does a heavy attack to alert you that you need to watch for the sparkles. Finally, the biggest thing to watch out for pre-execute upstairs is bar swap, heavy attacks, cones from the portal, and the combination of those. If you have add-ons, you can easily anticipate bar swap by swapping to back bar, overload starting, and going to front bar. Without add-ons, I highly recommend a self-heal on both bars. Now, the big overlapping mechanic that trips up a lot of tanks is Zmaja Heavy and Cone. Both of these mechanics have a 2 to 3 second windup, meaning if both of them appear at you on the same time, you do not have to immediately block. But you can move quickly out of the cone and then begin blocking. Instincts often lead to blocking and walking, or roll dodging when you need to be blocking the heavy. Both scenarios, you'll likely die. It feels counterintuitive, but you'll get the hang of it. Okay, now time for portal tanking. Zmaja's Shade always spawns north, or towards the entrance. Quickly get into portal, taunt Zmaja's Shade, then call that it's safe. She may not immediately aggro to you, so it's important you have taunt on her before others come down. I usually have enough time to Ellie Drain 4 crystals before she does a heavy attack, and then I continue getting Ellie Drain on the rest. There isn't any sort of pattern to her attacks, so don't worry about that. Downstairs, it doesn't matter if she's facing others, as she will only blast you if you have taunt on her. You still absolutely have to bash her during her channeled attack, similar to how you do upstairs. The rest is simply learning to manage resources. I recommend only doing heals when you have about 50% or below health remaining, or right before a heavy attack to anticipate that amount of damage. Keeping up low slash to maim her helps a lot as well. And a lot of tanks learning and experienced use Earth Gore as their monster helm, which is a great choice for survival. The rest, you just need to make sure she's taunted, bashed, and that you don't get stuck in a cone to get sent upstairs. Easy peasy. When your portal is done, there is always a monstrosity that spawns in the middle of the arena. I usually find it best practice to wait near center of the portal so you can immediately taunt the spider. You bring it to whatever the group is focusing at that time, let it die to cleave, and then take back Zmaja when you're ready. Finally, the last part of tanking Zmaja in Portal is Execute. You apply the same principles we've discussed to Execute. The biggest difference is Baneful, which targets the person that has taunt and then the 5 closest people, so 6 people in total every time. There's no reason to not tank swap in Execute, and I recommend it for all groups learning. You know Baneful is about to happen because she waves her arms up in the air. Immediately let the other tank take her, and you get into one of the stacks as soon as you can to get healed back up to 100%. That will erase Baneful. After being healed, make sure DPS are closer to Zmaja than you are, so you don't get Baneful on the next round. It is crucial in Cloud Rest as a whole, and especially in Execute, to not over-taunt. Over-taunt occurs when too many taunts occur back-to-back between 2 different taunt sources. For Zmaja, this means your taunt or the other tank's taunt will not register on Zmaja when trying to take her from each other. A general principle for taunt swapping is to only refresh your taunt with 5 seconds or less left on your previous taunt. Now we will talk about being the mini tank, since that is a crucial role for vCR tanking. Your basic function is to quickly get minis and stack them where it will be best for the group, as well as gathering adds that come out of the portal. The minis always spawn in the same locations. Saroria always spawns in the southwest part of the arena, or to the back right from entrance. Most groups stack her on Zmaja. A trick with her is to stack on one side. When she drops her standard, roll dodge through Zmaja to the other side, and then reposition her in a way where she is not standing in her standard, but still next to Zmaja. Saroria doesn't have a channeled attack that needs to be bashed, so you don't need to worry about that. I mentioned before getting adds from the center. You want to have a chain slotted to grab them quickly so they die quickly, and don't run off attacking healer or DPS. Reliquin always spawns at the southeast part of the arena, or back left from the entrance. A lot of groups find it helpful to stack him in center so you don't accidentally push Zmaja to spawning creepers at 40%, and it also helps the tank holding Zmaja see his sparkles from the heavy attack. Reliquin has a channeled attack that must be interrupted, so try to remain close to him or keep crushing shock on your bar. You can also block through his large AoE cone if you need to. If you're holding minis in center, you'll need to watch the portal synergy. It's typically best to hold him sort of off center and then point your tune towards the portal when it's up. Gallenway always spawns on the northeast side of the arena, or front left from the entrance. Gallenway is often also held in center for groups learning, so be wary of the portal synergy. The main things to watch for him is his baby cage, which is the circular thick AoE that he drops, so make sure to not stack too close to group. He also has a channeled attack that needs to be interrupted. Finally, probably the easiest part for the mini tank is Execute. You simply stand in the back and make sure Crushing Darkness does not come into the group. If you have a Hoarfrost, get close enough to group where they can easily get it when you drop it. If you get Flare, call out for someone else to kite in case Crushing Darkness happens when you come in for Flare. The rest of the time you can debuff orbs and creepers and call out where they are so people more easily find them. That was quite a lot to take in. A final bit of info to add though is the percentage of Zmaja's health when minis spawn. vCR hard mode, they spawn at 25% health intervals, so 75, 50, 25%. vCR plus 2 minis, they spawn at 66 and 34 to 33%. vCR plus 1, the mini spawns at 50% health. And I can't fit every nuance into a video like this, so please do drop questions in the comments and follow me on my Twitch below for live rating. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.